I said I wanted to be an aerial photographer. They ended up making me a gunner. Big choice, huh? And a gunner, because I dealt with photography a little bit.
Seatbelt.
And them merchant ships needed gunners to protect them freighters going across Europe. So they made me a Navy gunner on merchant ships. So I spent a year on them ships, going to Africa and England and Wales, all over Europe. Got out of that, and shipped me over to the Pacific. Then the first thing we hit was Iwo Jima, Guam, Saipan, Okinawa, all that garbage. And all that was good. And that war ended up, and I stayed in. Then the Korean War come out. So I took a heavy cruiser and went to Korea, and that was good. So my life was pretty good. It was good when I took Betty and the kids to Guam. I took them there for a couple of years. I was a security chief then. But time goes by. I guess when you're enjoying yourself, time goes by and you don't realize it.
What was your favorite of all the wartime stuff?
Well, I guess Guam. Guam was my best, I think. A couple years out there. I lived in a village called Apra. Little house. It was built on 4 coconut tree stumps off the ground, And the windows were just little cutout squares. There was no glass or nothing like that. So I put some screen in front of the cutout windows. And then we had shutters in case a typhoon come up. Wooden shutters, you could close the shutters so the rain and wind can't blow in. And my floor was made of, looked like they were about 1x6s, with inch in between. You could see the dirt. But if you're sitting in the kitchen, you can look right down and see the dirt right through the cracks in the wood. So I went out and I got linoleum and I covered the whole floor. Then it had no bathroom, so I built a little shower room, dragged some pipes and a couple pieces of wood and canvas, and made a shower room. I went up with a Gypsy Queen, cost me $15, a little Gypsy Queen washer machine. The kind where you had to get a wringer and you put your clothes through a wringer and your hand wind up. You ever see that?
My mom and dad had one when we lived in Mississippi.
So we had that. And then what was nice about it, I would pull my car up in front of my office, and by nighttime, in the back seat of my car, I always see a pound of butter, a loaf of bread, or always some goodies back there. Because I was close to the supply shop where they had food and all that. And I liked a good mattress, so I went down to the mattress where they made mattresses. And I told them what kind I wanted. I had a mat.
Is it Guam guys or military making the mattresses?
Regular Guamanians.
Guamanians?
Yeah. But the darn Filipinos from Luzon, they would come over to Guam to work. Of course, there weren't enough Guamanians, a lot of them were killed. So Philippines would come over, but they were crooks, and that's why they sent me over there. They said, Bush, you're going over there, you're going to be a security chief. The guy I relieved was a habitual drunkard, a military chief, always drunk. And he was supposed to be taking care of the Seabees. You know, the Seabees are, you've heard of Seabees. And I was in charge of a detail of Seabees. And man, the guy I relieved, I was drunk. And the Filipinos, they were stealing everything out of the machinery repair unit. Like they were stealing tires, and they would pick up whatever they could and run it, hide them into the boondocks, into the jungles. And when the black bear would come over, that'd be a ship that come over about once a month from Philippines to relieve some of them Filipinos. When the ship come over to the dock, them darn Filipinos would go out into the boondocks, get their tires and parts that they stole from the Navy, and then put them aboard ship and send them to the Philippines. Well, that's why they sent me over there, because they knew that was taking place. So the first thing I do, I told the whole detail of Seabees that I, was in charge of. I said, okay, I'm taking your 45 pistols away from you, and I'm issuing you all sawed-off shotguns. And I took the guns away, and at the entrance, the Philippines had to come through a gate to go to work in that impound area. And I said, anyone taking anything will not receive a shot, a warning shot, because I got them shotguns now. Any people steal anything, would have shoot them. And I taught the dogs, they had red dogs out there. I taught the red dogs how to hate the Filipinos. And what?
How could they tell the difference between the Guamanians and the Filipinos?
Well, there's a difference, Tom. There is a difference, believe me.
And the dogs could tell?
Well, you train them like a bunch of Filipinos. You say, get him, But anyway, one night, when the Filipinos, they put a piece of straw or something into the locks. You lock the gates at night where you can't come in. They put a piece of straw in there. That way, the lock isn't fully locked.
Right.
They pull the straw out and they come in the gate and they steal whatever they want. But one night, I went on patrol with some of the guys, and stopped at one impound area. Then I told the guys, want to look around this impound area. And I let my dogs loose, and the dog took off. And I heard barking, and there was something taking place way back into the impound area. And would you believe I've never seen a man, you know these chain link fence, them 8 feet high chain link fence that you might see in prisons, and when you get up so high, you got an overhang coming this way with wire.
Right, barbed wire.
Barbed wire. I've never seen a man run up that chain link fence barefoot. Filipinos were barefooted, didn't have no shoes. Run up that chain link fence, went up over that 8-foot fence, over the wire, and jumped down on outside of the impound area. And boom. Well, I didn't hit anybody, but they knew I was out for business. And all the thievery stopped. But when I went there, the guy on watch, give you an idea, the chief, a drunkard chief, give you an idea how careless he was. The security guard, they would have their belt on with their gun hanging down. And I go up into the the sleeping quarters, and there goes the guard with a bottle of booze on the table, and they're playing cards. They're all sitting around playing cards, and he got his gun hanging there, and I'm wondering what the heck is this, you know? He's a guard on security duty, drinking, playing cards, and he has a gun instead of being on guard duty. You know?
Yeah.
Oh boy. First morning, I went to quarters. They introduced me to the men and the officers and all. I said, well, the same orders will continue, the same existing orders, but there'll be a few new ones. I said, from now on, you'll come to quarters with your hat squared, your shirt buttoned up. You won't be wearing Lord Fauntleroy Panamanian hats and barefooted. I said, you're going to come to quarters dressed up like a sailor in the morning. And they looked at me and I said, oh, who's this guy? He thinks he's going to tell us what to do and this and that. So the next morning they all put in a request for a transfer. Okay, I picked everyone up and I denied every transfer. Then I looked at the officer that was supposed to be in charge of the whole outfit. I said, sir, you had to come to quarters, not wear the Panamanian short pants and your Panamanian hat. You're going to have to come to quarters dressed like an officer. But nobody liked me at that time until they got used to me.
Yeah.
And when they got used to me, I would bring them over at night. Every night I would have a new guy come over to my home, and I'd Betty make a dinner. And I'd invite them every night for a dinner. If they were from down south, Betty would make a southern kind of dinner. Northern type. And they all got to like me. And I introduced them to my refrigerator. I always had beer into it, a lot of food. I said, you have anything you want. Betty and I would go out at night. We'd go to an outside movie out in the boondocks. The boondocks was just a plain old bench out in the tuies there. And we have your poncho with us with rain about 1 or 2 times a night, every night. And you just hear watching movies. But you asked me, did I like it? Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. Yeah, good old days. Yeah, I'll never forget that one time. Me and Indian Joe was out. We had a couple of drinks. Beer, that is. That's all I drank was beer. And we got back to it was a merchant ship.
Where were you?
I was heading to Portugal, East Africa. And I think it was around Durban, South Africa. We were on Liberty. And old Indian Joe, big fat Indian, real Indian.
Comanche?
What do you real? You know how Indians, just regular Indian. And we don't feel so good, broken English. And I said, oh, we'll be all right, you'll be all right, Joe. Went aboard the ship. Well, next morning he was dead. So, I don't know what he died from. We put a clean pair of dungarees on him, laid him up, put him on the floor, sick bay. And looked at him over, dead. So I wrapped him up, put him on a piece of board, shoved a shell between his legs, 5-inch shell, put him on a flat board, and we said, we got our dress clothes, respect. And the captain of the ship, merchant ship captain, made a little prayer, elevated the board, and down he went into the ocean. We made a couple spins around to make sure the waves were nice and smooth. You go and make a couple circles, and the waves get a little calm. And we just drove overboard, kept going. That was the end of Indian Joe.
Where was that, off of South Africa?
That was well, it was close to the Indian Ocean. So it's around South Africa, around Durban, Mozambique. No, Mozambique was up north. That's the northern part of it.
On the East African side.
Yeah, East Africa. It's all in East Africa. But Durban had good white sandy beaches, beautiful beaches. Then Mozambique, that was nice. That was real nice. That's where I think the Americans learned how to jitterbug, because we had them Africans, them natives, putting chrome chippings into the hull of the ship to take back to the United States. We have them working down there. We would throw a cigarette down to them and we would say, clap, clap. And man, you should see them Africans dance. They really put up a good dance.
They dance for cigarettes, huh?
Yeah, well, we throw them a cigarette and they would go, wee, whoopee, dance and all that. That was good. But that was fun. I had good parts of Africa. Oh, well. And then I come home and I hang up my hat.